I'm Ron McNeil, inventor of the Poly-Triplex liner system. I would like to show you a demonstration of the big difference that Poly-Triplex makes in utility rehabilitation. A lot of people can make test data in labs, say, well, this product will last for so many years and so forth. But the fact is, when they put it on in the field, a lot of different things happen. Semis running over manhole lids, severe sewer gas in pump stations and other places. A lot of things cause the problems once those products are in the field. So this is not a laboratory test data today. This is just to show you how well this is made, and I think it'll make some real sense to you. The Poly-Triplex liner, we make 4 different thicknesses so that we can do from just preventive maintenance, rehab, all the way through to something just completely falling apart, just severe structural problems that we have to overcome. The way the product is made is you have a non-porous membrane in the middle, and on each side of it you have felt material, and on each side of that you have structural fiberglass, just like you'd build a boat with. All of this is saturated together, all 5 layers, saturated together with epoxy resin that'll bond to wet or dry surfaces, and then it's inflated with a removable inflation bladder. It's cured under intense pressure and steam heat injection. It takes about an hour to cure a typical manhole or something. I have a piece here that was cut from a manhole. Matter of fact, I took it out myself. This piece was cut out of the bottom on the bench area of a manhole. I sawed it off with an offset grinder, took a pry bar and sledgehammer and beat it off the floor. This structure had already been pressure cleaned at least 4,000 psi, so it was clean before the liner was bonded down to the floor. You can see the non-porous membrane I was describing. This allows us to cure structures while there's active infiltration, because the membrane will stop the infiltration under all the pressure we put on the liner. And it also allows us to have a membrane in there so that sewer gases can never get back through pinholes and destroy the structure and turn back loose the liner. This liner was, like I say, was cut out with a pry bar and a sledgehammer after it had been sawed out into with a offset grinder. You see the membrane in the middle of the liner, and then, as I said, this was pressure cleaned at 4,000 psi as a minimum. It pulled the aggregate and concrete right off the bench area of the manhole when this was brought out. So to give you an idea today about the quality of what we've put in that structure, this is a piece of material that was cured, and it's quite thick. It's resin everywhere except this inner piece in the center here, which is a piece of Poly-Triplex liner just put into the middle of that resin. Now, resin and cement materials, epoxies, all this is sprayed on, plastered on structures all over the country, and it's a rather temporary fix. I'm going to show you the big difference it makes to use Poly-Triplex. You would never build a resin boat. It would splatter the first time it hit a wave. You would use the resins to bond all the fiberglass together so that you got all the strength that fiberglass brings. So to give you an illustration of that, I have here 4 pretty good implements. Here's a little tack hammer, 7-ounce hammer. See how that broke? Even a little teeny hammer, almost swung as easy as I would nail a small nail, just breaks it up. Of course, a bigger hammer is going to do the same. The Poly-Triplex part that's in the center there, let's hit that a little harder. There's a regular handheld sledgehammer. As a matter of fact, I got a big sledgehammer here. Let's try that. You can see the Poly-Triplex area is just basically indestructible. The big difference it makes is because all that fiberglass that we would use to build a boat or other structure like that is inside this resin. The difference it makes is that we mold this in, it's certified to last for up to 100 years in the sewer. The materials, they test great at labs. They won't deteriorate in sewer gases and all this stuff. But the big difference is this won't come apart when it's put in your manhole, pump station, culvert, catch basins, other areas where you have serious problems with your infrastructure. There's nothing like the Poly-Triplex liner system. There's 97 U.S. patent claims granted on the product and this process. So there's nothing that competes with it in the market. Bid your product in a way that you can use Poly-Triplex. If we're the product of choice, put something else as alternatives if you got to bid other products. We've got many licensees around the country. They can all bid your product if you want to sole source Poly-Triplex because of these patents. But regardless, get yourself the opportunity to put in your structures something that will last for many, many, many decades and be the product that will work for your utility. Thank you very much.